Good morning. Afternoon, 18 minutes off. Just clipping in to test out this ZWatt power meter. Once I have everything linked up, I'm just going to do a standard Llama lab test. So about 40 minutes of writing or so. Hopefully I can get all this stuff sorted. Where are we? So let us know how you're doing. I want to get out in the road sometime today, but I thought I'd do this one first because I've been meaning to do it for a while now. Oh no, there we go. How can I have 3 power average but no average power shown? Okay. Sorry, 3 seconds, yeah, 3 seconds average but no power shown on the... Look at that. That's kind of screwy. Sensors. Let me just disconnect and reconnect. Oh, no, remove. Enable, disable, connect. How do we watch the Super League races? Keep an eye on the Zwift live streams. I believe Zwift themselves are doing the live streams. Has that resolved? Calibrate power. No, I've already done that before. That's really strange. It's not showing average power, but it's showing average 3 seconds. Okay. Anyway, good training session. Either way. Yeah, see that? Why is that so? That is just really bizarre. Don't know. All right. Gonna do this session regardless. It's a good workout. So I have, where's the workout on screen there? It's pretty much the Llama lab test summarized right here. Oh, you've actually got to click start. Really? How about that? We learn something new every day. That's so basic, isn't it? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So Claude just said you've got to hit start to see the average 3 seconds. Hang on, what wasn't shown? Let me get my head around this. That's exactly what it is. Power 3 seconds, average power isn't shown. Sorry, I know, it's my field setup. Bam! Yep, cool. Can I get my socks up higher? What the hell? Oh, on the bike? Yeah, cool. I'm thinking I haven't got the camera down that low. How's this? Is that alright for real life? Makes sense, because I haven't even hit start yet on these. Power 3 seconds. That had me totally stumped because I've actually reset this during the week. Cool. Yes, I did match the kit on purpose. I'm looking pretty scruffy, so as long as everything else is looking neat, it's all good. Cool. Okay, that's all sorted. Indoor. Power 3 seconds. What's... No Di2 on this bike. This is the older bike. Oh, and all my GPSs are gone to sleep because they're inside. I should just jump on and ride my bike, shouldn't I? And stop messing about with all this tech. It's a bit of a mind bender. Okay, so here we go. Start. Done. I've got the GPSs down close to everything, so very few dropouts. I'm going to go to E and start that workout again. Here we go. Cool. Alrighty, let's kick this off. Let me know on the audio levels. How much is this power meter? €449. But then you need the bottom bracket and some chain rings and things. I'll be doing a full review later on. Neo's nice and quiet though. I've just cleaned the chain on this thing. Power is reading on all. Oh. Yeah, look at the data later. Or else I'll be just writing looking like that. Jump on Team ZWatt. Just type in Team ZWatt Zpider. Is that the word? On Google. I'll put the details in my full rundown review of it. I've had it for about 6 months though, so just had to get a bottom bracket sorted out for it because it's a GXP, was it Evo 368, 386, Mega Exo, Mega whatever. Oh, nice drop out there. I've lost the tunes. Or I can't hear them myself. Let me get something cranked up. I need something to pedal along to. Alrighty, we got something going there. Cool. Alrighty. Oh God, a new chain or a clean chain is so nice. This is just buttery smooth. This is on the old bike too. I'll check the comments and questions when I can as I'm riding along. Might be a bit more difficult when I start getting into the workout. Lucas asked about the power meter. It's a crank-based power meter. It's a Spider. Think Quark, think SRM. Power to max style. What's my FTP? I don't know. Haven't done an FTP test for a while. It's currently set to 341 in game. So all the numbers over there work for this workout. Probably around 290, 300 probably about now. Don't know, not important. Alrighty. There's about a 50-50 split between Watopia and the Guest World today. And here's a tricky one. It looks like the Guest World is default. So I said on the Zwift cast that the Guest World would only get about 10%, or when I was looking at it, the numbers early on in late Jan, the Guest World only had about 10%. That's because Watopia was still on rotation by default. It appears Watopia is no longer ever default because of the calendar. Doesn't list Watopia anymore. Sneaky. Okay. Feel free to throw in any questions you have, any comments, questions on recent videos. The Shimano Di2 security video was interesting. Lots of downvotes. Don't know, not a lot of comments though of why. Oh, somebody said this bores the shit out of me, I'm gonna not watch anymore or something, but fair enough. Great feedback. Yeah, strange one. Unless Shimano had 22 people watching that going, what the fuck? I didn't really want to go hacking Di2 or, you know, clickbait the title or anything. The video really was about taking the piss out of Shimano themselves, saying that it was like a spy movie. And they're talking up that secret key, which was complete crap. Okay. I'll turn my screen brightness. I got it on screen brightness on. So I will turn that off. Where are we? System, display, timeout. 15 seconds. I don't even want to look at my heart rate now. It feels too high. We go through till another 5 minutes. I stop, re-zero everything, and then we'll get stuck into it. Numbers are looking pretty good over my shoulder. Zachary's asking about the calibration of the Cyclops Magnus in Zwift. I wouldn't use the Zwift calibration process. I'd unpair the Smart Trainer in settings. You can leave the power paired, and then connect to it via Bluetooth from your mobile using the Cyclops app, which is Ruvi. I think it is now, still Ruvi. Chinese smart trainers and power meters. Haven't got one actually. Well, some of these smart trainers are produced in China, but the Chinese brand ones I don't have any. I'm toast already. And out come the excuses. A few short jams to make sure everything's bedded in for the zero offset. No, I haven't touched Bluetooth direct to Windows. I have enough frustrations with production level equipment and software to start messing about with beta features that have known issues already. It'd do my head in. I'll wait for it to be released and then we can take the sword to it. I hit almost 100 watts. I'll try harder. I think you meant 1,000. I try and keep the fans low for this one so the audio is better, but even to the level of putting drink bottles next to me rather than on the down tube, because Ant Plus signals and water, not good. Visuals on the screen and setup. This is all done within OBS. So I have a few screens set up here. Having a few issues with the computer, but we'll try and stream through those. But I can go multiple screen selections so I can see what's going on. I have an Elgato capture card for the output of my phone, and just a few screens like this where we can have a chat about what's going on and have a look. Yeah, look, OBS is quite simple. As long as the audio is good, everything is nice and neat. It's pretty easy to make things look pretty professional. Every entity you see on the screen is just another little entity. So the Zwift logo is just a GIF file. The name is just text. Above is just some HTML to bring in some live chat. Troy Collar asks what trainer I'm riding. It's over that way. The mobile phone there is just a simple an image of an iPhone with that screen overlaid over the top. So it looks pretty easy. Looks pretty cool. Okay, well, I've got 1 minute to go. NBN bandwidth, I got a ton of bandwidth. Uplink at the moment is about 7,000 kilobits a second. So what's that? 1.5 megabytes, 2 megabytes a second. It's not too bad. Yeah, sorry about the timing of the stream. I'm in Australia. Everything's backwards. Alright, 33 seconds. Yeah, bandwidth wise, I have 95 meg down, 35 up, more than enough. Alright, we're doing a zero offset in just a few seconds, which involves no riding. The Neo doesn't need any calibration or zero offset, so I can leave everything connected here. Alright, that's a pretty easy 10 minutes. Alright, we spin back a few times. Get the cranks at 12 and 6. And get off so we're not smashing gooch. Okay, first up. My 3 recording devices. Edge 1030 today for one of them. And it's the same as what you do outside. There we go, that's the Zwat Spider, that's the offset that it puts up on screen, so that's that one done. Sweet. PowerTap P1 pedals on the P1s, because they work just fine. calibrate on that too, on the Garmin 820. This is a weird one because there is 2 pedals, they have 2 offsets. 7 is the only one that shows. I'm hoping in the background the other one is also sent a 0 offset. It's kind of weird, there's 2 independent power meters there. Fingers crossed that's the case. Cool, that one down. And the other one's on the Neo. No need. 47 seconds and we get into some steady state. Cool. Alrighty. 200 watts I can talk, 250, maybe not. Throw in your questions now. And minimal fans, so I've got better audio in here. This trainer season for Down Under, in a couple of months I'll be getting a new machine. Am I showing nipple? Sorry YouTube, that'll get me thrown off I'm sure. Yeah, I'll get a new machine with, what gear am I going to go? Small ring straight chain line. Okay. Bam, straight into it. Ah yes, Von's arrived in the States. She's doing well. Oh, I've got a bit of... No, it's okay. I was going to say my gearing's not quite lined up, but it's okay. It's okay. And there's no smoothing in workout mode, so you'll see those watts jump around quite a lot. Pedal smoothers. I've used the pedal, I've done a whole video on the pedal scan analysis on the, might have been the Drivo. It's same for the Directo, except 12 points rather than 24. Until we start seeing that kind of functionality put in game, in the software we're using, it's not going to take off. No one's really going to use it. Not all that interesting. It needs to be presented like the data up here to make it easy. I mean, having to pull out a tablet, connect something over Bluetooth, just to view one metric. If you need it, it's there. That's cool. Everyday use, nah. Just peeking on the numbers. And I don't have the numbers showing for the ZWatt. Cool. That saves me going crazy looking at what they are. We'll just get it done, look at the data later on. I do have one quirk with this power meter that I'm working through. That's outside, out of the saddle, the right reads high, which is just bizarre. My mouse batteries have gone flat. So we're in a suboptimal state. Okay. Nope. Trackpad it is. Where's these tunes? Okay. So 7 minutes of questions if you have any, or just observations. Give me some feedback on how things are going, how your riding's going, how your racing's going, what struggles you're having with equipment. It's always good to know what's out there, what people are having problems with. Totally missing the tunes on my end here. There we go, cool, they're there. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, it's time for a new computer here. I've overloaded this little puppy with 8 USB devices, so it's struggling a little bit. Short sprints in erg mode is just not a good idea. Like fruit juice and toothpaste, they don't go together. By the time erg mode is able to respond to your effort, adjust accordingly, and just do that monitoring, that loop back of are you too high, are you too low, are you not, adjust. Ant Plus being, and Bluetooth not being all that fast, it's never good. You'll see in my 20-second intervals a really good example of erg mode kicking in, stabilizing, then dropping out. It takes 5, 6, 7 seconds for it to be happy. Those sprints should, if there's true sprints, they'll be maximal. So setting a sprint to say 150 of your FTP, everyone's different with their sprints. So for my sprints on here, if I'm doing sprints in a workout, I drop out to sim mode. That's pre-programmed in the workout. This one drops to level mode because it's an older version of my Llama lab test. Alrighty. Heart rate there slowly creeping up. You see that red line coming out of my elbow? There. Chain maintenance, depends on the season. I've done probably 2,000 Ks on the Giant bike outside. Haven't cleaned it yet. When I do, I take it off, strip it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and dry it out, re-lube, back on the bike. Really depends on the conditions. If you go for one terrible ride in the mud and grit, chain has to come off straight away. But the Aussie summer here's been pretty good. No, 150 for 200 watts. Three minutes, then we go up. The power tap pedals are tracking really well. Haven't found an easy or reliable way to put multiple power meters on the screen at once. There's a few ways to skin that cat, but it's difficult to make it easy to jump on and just get the data, which is more important than displaying it in real time here. Switching off erg mode for sprints, maybe, if there's a little sprint section in your workout, yeah, sure. Turn off erg and get stuck into it. But erg's always going to prescribe you a zone or a wattage. And if you're having a good day, you can smash that. If you're having a shitty day, you mightn't get anywhere near it. What beat? Oh. The Edge 1030 with a factory reset now does auto lap every 10k. I turned it off for outside, but the inside profile still now has auto lap. Alright, 2 minutes left of this. It's all looking pretty good. See how many other people are on Zwift because I've got too many things on screen. There we go. 11:48. Oh, it's interesting. Okay, 90 seconds. We step up to 250. We'll rip into a sprint. See if we can crack 1100. Haven't been working much on my sprint. Sea Otter travel is on the cards. It sounds pretty good. Okay, the audio should be back now. Sorry. I can see the line input going up and down. It's my, yeah, sorry, USB's having kittens. I'll keep an eye on the stats. The stream's okay, it's just my, yeah. We'll see how we go. Oh, don't tell me it's doing it again. No! Alright, if it's gonna be a pain in the ass like this, I'll cut the stream. And just get this knocked out. Alrighty, up to... I've unlocked the polka dot socks. I'm pretty proud of that. Hung now, fuck it. That's entirely YouTube, everything else is working fine here. Fucking shit. Fucking YouTube. Supporting content creators. An absolute load of shit. Making us use fuck ass. Third party crap. Let me know if I come back. Alright, 250 watts. Sorry all. It's truly bizarre. It's all on stream here. Stream says healthy. Makes me look like a fucking amateur. And I'm back. Feel free to reverse through that. And on my swears. Alright, just gotta refresh on my screen here. Of course the swearing came through crystal clear. Apologies for anybody if you're offended by my Australianisms. Yeah, YouTube are also offended with my tubeless tyre setup. Even a manual review of that video, they won't put advertising on it. It's a fucking joke, to be honest. Imagine going to work, well, crappy analogy, going to work for the day, full day's work done, your boss goes, yeah, here's $5, we'll give you the 50 later. Then later on they go, no, fuck you, we're keeping the money, thanks for your work. YouTube is a cesspool for creators. Sorry, we'll get back positive. Zumo. I'm not sure current state of the Zumo. I have a Zumo. Elite have sent one over. I've been asked not to do a review of it. Yeah. It's limited availability in the US. I'm trying to ask, and I'm trying to do the right thing as well. So yeah, any questions about the Zumo, direct that over to Elite. Matthew, huge fan. Mate, I could do with a huge fan right about now. It's getting a bit hot here. Thanks, Michigan. I don't say that to be offensive or swear or derogatory, sexist, or any of those things that you have read about Liam Neeson recently. But look, there's enough channels out there showing the polished shoes, the SRAM ETAP, the corporate ownership, all that sort of shit. Fair enough. They've got their place, that's cool. I can't do that. I don't have the resources. I could bullshit and say everything's fucking happy, but you know, no, everyone can see through the bullshit. Hands on ETAP 12 speed? Nope. It took me 10 years to get my hands on Di2. I don't expect to see ETAP 12 speed anytime soon. That's the reality of it. It's having what, 78,000 followers. It's super cool, and I've worked my ass off to build that. But it's a few doors that have opened. But if I had 700 followers, it's the same answer. It's the same content. SRAM won't want to give that shit to me at all. Shimano, I'm expecting a call from those guys regarding my Di2 security. But again, I'm not out to piss people off. I'm just showing it's my reality. It's my tinkering with bikes, my fascination with the tech, breaking shit, making shit work. But for all the corporate stuff, you've got to go to your GCNs and your Cycling Tips, all those guys. Performance bike is closing down. They have Zumos, but no one has the info on them. Sorry. We're gonna have to send you over to Elite for that one. Four minutes, then we can get to use this anger in a sprint. Heart rate's going up now. Alright, keep me honest, we need to crack 1100 at least in the sprint. I'm on mechanical at the moment, so no one's screwing with me. Oh, yeah. Numbers are good. Bought a tax now because of my review. Awesome. Let tax know that one. If you're having a good time with your products, just tweet them. Put a picture up, tag them in it. Say you love their tech. Companies like that deal with problems all the time. But they always love when someone's having a good time on their tech. Initial impressions of the ZWatt. Yeah, numbers are pretty good outside. I'll do a full rundown in another video. Oh, my sprint's gonna be rad shit. I'm cooked. Yeah, somebody commented about the price of ETAP, the new stuff. If you buy OEM on a bike, you're much better deal. But if you want to kill it, come out with a cheap product that works. Look at IQ Squared Power Meter. Everyone knows about them. A lot of people have put money down. Over €1 million. No one's seen one yet. Cheap works. In volume. Ah, man. There we go, 70 seconds. And it's going to break me out into level mode. So, getting the gearing right for these sprints is a bit tricky. No loopholes found as such, just very generous configuration options. Look, nothing new to people who know Di2. Actually, it was new that you can set the shifting mode via head units, but as an owner of Di2, just a few concerns of mine. All right, ready for some help? I'm not. How'd that go? Ray's main site isn't YouTube. It's his written text on the website. So the readership of that's massive, really big. My mistake is not having gplawnumber.com set up, linking all my data and text. All my stuff pretty much goes up on YouTube and across other social feeds. So yeah, Ray's got it going really good there. 2019, I am planning on launching gplawnumber.com. I own the domain, I don't know where it goes now. Just to take a bit of reliance off YouTube. I'm yet to find a format that's going to work that I like. And to be honest, a few of the things that I've reviewed or said and done has closed a lot of doors. I mean, Peloton, for example, what the fuck? I mean, would a company want to deal with someone who's threatened to be sued, regardless of me being right or wrong? You know, having a reputation being dragged through shit's not a good thing. I don't fucking chase it. God damn, I don't chase that shit. Comes my way. Alright. We'll see how we go in that sprint later on with the data. The overs and unders are fun. Okay, we'll have a look at how erg mode responds. The Neo's pretty good. But you'll see the exact response time. Okay, it may drop out again. I'm having USB kittens. There we go. Claude asks about the resolution of Zwift. This is a really interesting one that I haven't covered a lot because I don't want to piss people off by showing how shit Zwift looks on a MacBook Pro 2013. Because if they're using it just for cycling, just for training, cool. It's okay, but if you want a decent screen that looks like this with tons of resolution and all that, yeah, there's nothing quite like it. Makes a big difference having a good computer. Thought about Patreon, yeah. My biggest issue with Patreon though, when I've got 1 minute before the overs and unders, making sure I'm in a straight chain line. It's the 39.17 or so. Yeah, Patreon, I just ripped the music down a bit. Don't have a mouse. Is first of all, you've got to tell people what Patreon is and then convince them to put their credit card in and pay money for it. Not ideal. If my mum can't understand it, then it's not it. I've been waiting for YouTube to enable memberships on my channel. But as every day goes by, it's harder and harder to tell people to believe in YouTube. YouTube memberships will be It's just a way to support the channel for like $5 a month or something. It's not necessary. It's just a way to support creators. But yeah. The thing I can't do is try and create more content or separate content for paying people, which then doubles the workload. Alright, here we are, 150 watts. And then what are we into? 350s for 20 seconds. Alright, I think balanced thoughts. Bang, straight into it. Yeah, YouTube has to give permission for it. You've got to have at least 30,000 subs. I think I'm a little bit past that, but anyway. Next one, 350 again for 20 seconds. Bang, on the pedals. We can see it overshoot, then come back. If I'm smooth, it's smooth. There, the easy one's done. 450's coming up. YouTube Premium, no. You just get no ads with Premium. Yeah, the P1s are on the cranks as well. Alright, 1 sec, 450 concentration. Bang! Nice and smooth. And there you go, it's spot on. It's good. One down, one to go. You still get kickback from premium viewers though. So it kicks above, drops down, sustains. And release. P1s, yeah, love them. They're too big, they're too heavy. The cleats aren't all that great, but done deal. They're just aging. The numbers I'm getting from the P1s are great, but the replacement vectors I've got are good, and the Asiomas have come along and smashed everyone, visuals and data-wise. Alrighty, that's pretty much the Llama Lab test done. I have no idea how the ZWatt has gone, but the data is collected. I'll do one short, actually I'll go around and do Watopia Wall in sim mode outside of erg, something I want to test. So it'll be a minute and about 400. Wow. All right. Thanks for sticking by and having a chat. Makes the time go a lot faster for me. Alright, but you can see there, I've spoken about this a few times, erg mode. We go full screen there, you can see it just down here. That initial bite in erg mode, you've really got to push through that and then wait for the feedback loop from the Zwift session or trainer session, whichever you're running, back to the trainer or power meter, to know that you're in the right zone. So it pushes up too high, comes back down, levels along as you can see there, and then drops out. It's that push into the change of resistance that catches a lot of people out, including me. Sometimes it'll be on one downstroke, sometimes it'll be on the other. If you're an elite trainer with a stepper motor, it'll be a bit different again. Let's have a look at these stats. Let's not, because my mouse doesn't work. I have no control. So I'm gonna have to do I can do it via the phone app, so I can go dismiss on that. Call back to there. And Steve Com, how you doing, mate? Thanks for all your comments in the last couple of, the last 24 hours. I think Steve's been pretty hard on the comments. Well, typing hard, I meant, contributing. Much appreciated. It's always good when the discussion of a video that I make sort of extends into the comments over days or hours, because I've only got one line of thought, it's mine. So when other people like chip in with their thoughts or their discussion points, it's really handy. It benefits everyone, which is super cool. All right, we're going up Watopia Wall, but I need to use the phone. That's why I've got it up on screen there. That's easy done, 24 Ks. Haven't looked at any of the data much. It does your head in. If you've got 2 pound meters or 3 on the bike and you're trying to do the calculations in your head about whether this has been good having them sitting down now. I just hope I press start on all of them. So what I'm going to test up the hill here, see the Neo does a bit of a wobble out of the saddle. Some power meters go out of the saddle okay, some don't. The reason being is the force pushed down the pedals is measured like that. When you're out of the saddle, you're sort of pushing just in different vectors. It's can be a bit of a problem for some power meters. Figuring out which one the problem is with is going to take me a day or two. Coffee, yeah, it's time for a coffee. My coffee shop here is still open, so I think I'll be back there for lunch and a coffee. Oh, thanks, Emerson. Much appreciated. You like the live stream? It took about a day or so to set up these kind of screens. I can flip through them, talk about the chat, have a look at the phone stuff, or go full screen. That's just with OBS. Okay, now I want to go straight. Yes! Not a fan of the new directional things because you don't know how many directions there are. We're going up the hill. Training difficulty I think is set to 85%. But this is all about erg mode, except for this hill. But training difficulty has no impact on the power reported or the effort that you put into the pedals. It's simply a gearing thing. Training difficulty is the wrong term for it. It should be called gradient simulation, but even then it's going to be misinterpreted as people being able to go up the hills faster. It's physical gradient simulation because the virtual gradient simulation doesn't change. Your avatar still moves X meters with Y watts. Alright, looking for about a minute at 400 out of the saddle. Shit, did I just commit to that? I think I did. Alright. Really want to get that rocking. Okay. 500, okay, that's alright. Nah, it's not an all-out effort. Oh, that banked up a little bit. I just need to up to the first corner of data out of the saddle. As I click this with the P1s and the Z-Pider. I'm purposely rocking this thing. All right, nearly there, come on. We're done. Where's the turn button? I'll get to the comments in a sec. But there's a couple of good questions there I'll jump on. That part's not part of the Llama Lab test, but I think I'll need to incorporate it. Steve Com, I don't need a cameraman now. I've got the Osmo Pocket and it follows me around the room like a little creeper that it is. I did a little test run yesterday, bringing in the Crown rollers and sticking them on the ground. Like today we're talking about the Crown, I just did a little test intro with it and that little camera is straight on me. As I walked out of the room, it focused on my blue shorts on my crotch. Yeah, that was a bit awkward. Alrighty, questions. Let me have a look here. Is the Wahoo KICKR still your favourite smart trainer? Yeah, look, I've got the most Ks on the KICKR, I really do. I know how it operates back to front. I could pretty much tell you any part of Watopia that I'm on if I'm on the KICKR. I just know that much, but same with the cars that you drive. It depends on the purpose. The Neo, I always use the Neo for the Llama Lab tests. I have recently, and until that changes with something else being either more accurate or easier to set up, and I'll continue to use the Neo. Horses for courses, I am in a very, very lucky position to have a few smart trainers to choose from, but look, there's nothing I'd really steer you clear away of. I mean, if you look at my reviews, you know what to steer clear of, pretty much. More sway angle out of the saddle. Yeah, I was kind of lifting the bike up a little bit. I was being pretty ugly with it, but outdoors, there's ugliness, like lots of sway and jumps. Does the Neo read high when in erg mode enabled? I've heard several cases, including myself, the erg causes watts to go up 5 or 10 watts compared to other power meter. That's a really, really interesting question. And the reason behind it is, again, really interesting. It's what I spend a lot of my days on. A few reasons for that. The pedal stroke changes in erg mode. Sim mode like this, you're riding along, just tapping, tapping, tapping. It just provides a certain level of resistance. It's pretty uniform, I guess, unless you hit a gradient and then it changes based on gradient. Erg just like locks in, but then it like there's a variance for it being locked in depending on your cadence. So your pedal stroke and where you put power down during erg mode may change. It's also depends on the trainer itself, and yeah, there's a lot going on there. 5 or 10 watts depending on what zone you're in, that's pretty good. 5 watts isn't anything I'd be too much concerned with. Also the type of power meter you're using. If you're doing a stages left only and you're a bit unbalanced, but then there's no answer to the imbalance thing either, because at 100 watts you might be 50-50, this watts you might be 52-48, at the other watts, higher watts again, you may be 50-50 again. That's just, humans are horrible, humans are terrible. We're inefficient sugar batteries. So the answer there is more data. And if you have a look at the video I've done recently on how I collect my data indoors and compare power meters, have a look at that if you haven't seen that. Do a few tests. Even if the tests go nowhere, you've got to throw the data away, you've done a good workout. So, yeah. There's always more data. And then, diving further down the rabbit hole, look at your left, right, and see if you've got a dual power meter. This is why it takes so long. Okay, the difficulty setting pretty much changes your chain line. You still got to make the watts. Yeah, absolutely. 0% makes you a smart trainer as a dumb trainer. So yeah, let me get my head around that. Yeah, it would. I'm just trying to think that even when you change gears, it still gets harder up. So yeah, pretty much it. Zachary asks, on Zwift my heart rate Garmin watch, which paired via Bluetooth, sometimes drops and matches my cadence. There shouldn't be any cross channel. So if you're saying your heart rate from your watch, well, heart watch, you know, the pathway, via Bluetooth matches your cadence sensor. No, something's screwy there. Let me have a look at my heart rate on this at the moment. If I can figure out what button to push. 126, 165. So you only got to 165 max on the heart rate here. I find it hard to get a decent reading on my arms indoors. My arms are cold, so I'm not sure there's a lot of blood flow going on in my arms. That's why I wear the strap that should be flashing away. Cheating on Zwift. Yeah, a lot of discussion around that lately. It's funny, and I did mention in yesterday's video that, yeah, we've been discussing this for a long time now, and it's cool that everything's coming up to this level of trying to solve the problem. That's cool. Yvonne and I have been, you know, Llama Drives have been talking about this for a while. E-bikes, well, Zwifty, well, there's no way to stop that. There's really not. Pedal assist, no way to stop it. No peaks challenge for me, no. But Slane's been putting up a lot of good training stuff. So Stephen Lane, HP Tech, has been doing a lot of work for Bicycle Networks, getting people trained up to the 3 peaks challenge, or 3, it's just peaks challenge, is it? Massive ride coming up next weekend or the weekend after, I think, is it, or is it in March? But check out Slane stuff, HPTEK. You can search for it here on YouTube. A little bit of free training advice there. Thoughts on SRAM 12 speed? Do we need 12 speeds? No, we don't even need 11 or 10. We really don't. It keeps the industry ticking along. So it's new tech that everyone's talking about. That's cool. Hang on, what else can I be positive about? I think what I skimmed over on our little quick discussion in the car yesterday was the price of replacement parts. I think the rear cassette's like $350 plus. I don't know, it's plus your bottom bracket types, plus your rear splines. I don't know, look, there's a market for it. There's a market for it, which keeps things ticking along. Hello from Boston, are you under snow at the moment? Vaughn's in Seattle and in snow, so in my mind everywhere's snowing in the US. Can I use an Apple Watch on Zwift? Good question, Carlos. I've tried, I can't get it to work. There is an Apple Watch app for heart rate. I've never got it working. I haven't tried it very hard either. Yeah, the cassette is milled from a single billet. Light but very expensive. Oh yeah, I love new tech. Okay, here's another upside. The trickle-down effect on the existing tech will get cheaper. There we go. Will I be riding next Saturday? I'm not sure, mate. I'm really not sure. I don't know what I'm doing in 2 hours' time. When will there be shadows on Zwift with Apple TV? Jay Bratz, which version of Apple TV are you using? Is it the 4K version? I think they added some sort of very light shading to the 4K version recently. There we go, snowy Seattle. What happens when you wear out your chainring on eTap AXS? Jump over to DC Rainmaker's review of it. It's fully comprehensive. It's got full details over there. Oh, I just found a hill. But with that, I believe after you wear out your chain rings, you send them back, or send the power meter back and the crankset back, and for half the cost of a new one, they'll replace it for you, which is cool. You're not left totally in the dark. And as I mentioned yesterday, if you can afford that, you can afford the group set or a bike with that group set, and that kind of money after that period of time. Who knows? Who knows? I just want this tech to become cheaper, better, more reliable, and more accessible for everyone. Because really, at the end of the day, I bitch and moan a bit, if you haven't noticed, but it's really cool stuff. I mean, look how many people are on Zwift now. I started riding around Jarvis when there was only 4 or 5 people online. The other week there were 13,000 people. That's unbelievable. I'd say holy shit, but then YouTube will smack me down. But yeah. Just want this stuff to be cheaper, more accessible, easier to use. Speaking of easy to use, like setting up Apple devices, fair enough, people aren't Apple people, there's alternates, but you know when you turn your phone on and it just works? Installing Windows 10 these days, you can do it via voice. I installed Windows 10 on that small EPC to do my eTube video the other day. I didn't open it up and show eTube running on it, but I did install a fresh copy of Windows 10. USB key in, installed, booted up. I spoke to Cortana from the other side of the room as I was doing something else to install Windows 10. That's how it should be. Google Wi-Fi, same deal. I love that stuff. You just plug it in. If my mum can set it up, it's good tech. Because we shouldn't have to have computing degrees or engineering degrees to use consumer devices these days. SRAM Force ETAP, I haven't heard anything about SRAM Force ETAP. I'd love to grab a set of even the old, no, actually no, I'm not going to touch the older SRAM stuff. The reason being is on the SRAM ETAP Axis, I don't know, what are people calling it? SRAM ETAP Expensives. The gear changes are faster. Which is something I've said for ages about me not liking ETAP, but you've got to get your head around the change times. So them coming out saying that's a feature of the new one, that it's faster gear changes, aha, there was a problem. Look, and to be a Di2 fanboy, because fuck, why not? I own it. The one battery thing with Di2, I do like that. The fact there's only one battery, there's not 4 or 5. Yes, sure, you can't swap the batteries from one to the other, and when it goes dead, you're all dead. But I do like that. Jim doesn't like the feel of SRAM lever hoods. I'm the other way. I like the smaller hoods. I love the tiny ones. I ran SRAM mechanical 10-speed for a while. End of 2012, I switched over. I loved it. I loved the little tiny hoods. There's upsides and there's downsides. It's the kick it or Neo thing. It really is, which is good. People talk about their tech. They're passionate about their tech. They buy the tech they love. It's cool. It's cool. There's no one thing suits all. Thanks for sticking around for the chat. I've done more than a llama lab test here, but no, I enjoy the interaction. It's really good. As I said before, the comments on the videos are gold. I look at the comments a lot. And I'll respond to everyone that I can. Because it's that outside perspective. It's those, sometimes there's little ideas or thoughts that lead completely somewhere else, somewhere awesome. And if I can share that experience with other people as well, happy days. Happy days. And we're all biased, absolutely. By Holden cars. Or was it Chevrolet? General Motors? They just feel, the shit on the levers feels cheesy. Alright, if you've got the companion app, you can give me a ride on and it'll come up on the screen here. So if you have the auto lap's doing my head in over here. So I go for a few more minutes. If you want your name up on the screen, or see how long the delay is with the comments and the live stream. Throw in a ride on with the companion app. Alright. Tyler's in his basement at night in Canada, chatting to me on the other side of the world. That's pretty insane, isn't it? I used to ride watching Coach Troy, and that was about it. 5x5s. Was it the time trial? I think the CTS time trial. Someone remind me to get new batteries. You're going to change screens and I can't. The CTS time trial video, you do a workout, turn your fans off when you're done, and there was just this eerie silence. Whereas now, we're connected to the world. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I mean, I have the same, the accessibility to people as well through social is so super cool. Imagine back in the day, I used to be a big fan, I still am a big fan of Tony Hawk. I had a pair of Airwalk shoes before anyone knew what Airwalk was. I had a few Tony Hawk decks. We used to have to mail Powell Peralta in Santa Barbara the self-addressed international stamped envelope to get their catalogue back, order things. You never knew what Tony Hawk was up to. You go down and buy a magazine. Nowadays you've got real-time access to everyone. And there's tons of issues with that, but that's cool. Aha, good comment there coming in from, and I cannot read Chinese, I'm sorry. Early adopter of Zimonox, single-sided power meter. Utterly disappointed with the unreliability, calibration issues, inconsistency, and inaccuracy. Carbon is a pain in the ass for power meters. It's a tough one for them to solve. That's why a lot of people use the alloy chain sets and crank arms. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for dropping by. But carbon is, if it's calibrated right, sure, but it's expensive to do. So, yeah, look, I'll see how I go on this. We're looking for dropouts, looking for compatibility issues, cadence, all that. I still have the XKD power meter, I do. It's sitting there on the shelf, looking pretty lonely. It's gonna cost more to send back than to actually send it back itself. If anybody in Ballarat wants an XKD power meter or Australia, apologies for anybody outside of Australia. Postage is a pain in the ass, and it's very, very expensive. If somebody needs that in Australia to loan, let me know. Most reliable power meter, pedal, crank arm, crank hub trainer. Ooh. Please won't power up before I log out. I don't have my, hang on. There we go. I don't have the keyboard has gone flat. Question about most reliable power meter. That really depends. There's nothing I'd tell you to steer clear of. Pedals have been proven to be pretty good. They've surprised me. Pedals have been doing really well lately. The P1s, I'm still on the original set from 2 years ago. P2s, they're the same thing. Vector 3s, the replacement Vector 3s, all good. Asiomas, love those. Sure, I haven't dug them into the ground and crashed them, so I can't sort of give you any info there. Pedals are fine if you can deal with the different cleats. I do like a crank-based power meter, just because that's where I started with an SRM. Oh, sorry, I started with the power tap in the back, but yeah. I don't know. What else though? What else have we got for, yeah, crank arms can be troublesome. I'm still not happy with any Shimano converted power meter. That includes the Stages left, right, the Pioneer left, right, the the G3 Powerbeat. What else was converted over? I'm just not liking the data. I'm still digging off those other two that I mentioned. I'm still digging away with data with those. Oh, and the Giant one. I put the data up recently about that. Still to dig into that. Again, the companies have got the data. They're going over it, trying to get some answers. If you've got just one power meter, they'll work all right. Did I have Ultegra or Dura-Ace on my TCR? I've got two TCRs. I have mechanical Dura-Ace on this TCR, the older one. Di2 Ultegra on the new one. Quark are awesome. Yeah. The original Quarks that Von and I have, the S-Works Spider Quarks, love those things. Absolutely love those things. They're not Bluetooth. They can be statically calibrated, properly calibrated. to line them up, change the chain rings. What's not to love? Other than they're only compatible with the S-Works bikes and bottom brackets. Anyway. Never get power-ups in Apple TV. Is that normal? Is that in group rides or is that in workout mode or... I'm not sure. It's not something I've looked at. Best budget power meter. Okay. PowerTap P1's on sale. There you go. They were being sold for crazy cheap prices. And again, there's stack height differences, there's weight differences, there's everything, but... I wonder if you can rig a battery recharge via the trainer for the watts you are creating. Yeah, let me think. There's a lot of brands going on in my head at the moment. There is the Jet Black. Have a USB port on that. I do believe the Tacx Neo bike has a USB port. I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure the Tacx Neo bike will have a USB port on it. Power to Max, I'm still trying to get a hold of one. Power to Max are a freaking unicorn. You can't. They're magical. Can't find them. They weren't. Yeah, I've spoken about this a few times. They weren't at Eurobike. They weren't at Interbike. The Australian distributor and website hasn't been updated for a couple of years. Don't know. But people who have them love them. And why are they shooting themselves in the foot and not using the marketing and their... Yeah. 4i. It's over there. I've got to put it on the bike after this one. It's the same crankset. It's the Evo 386. So now that I have the bottom bracket sorted, yeah, I've got a nice looking 4i dual carbon over there. Would I use Ant Plus dongle over Bluetooth for Zwift for use on PC? Absolutely, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. I have the Tacx Ant Stick straight below me. It's just easier. And once everything's tidied up in the room, 2.4, everything's on 5 gig wireless. It's all good. And I can read the data from multiple sources. The Gossamer, is it Gossamer? Is that the pronunciation? That was I've had this power meter for 6 months. I put the bottom bracket in the PF30 conversion. I really wasn't happy with it, so that came out because something else came along. So I thought I'd better finally get an answer for these guys who sent me over a power meter, which has to go back and get some data and my take on things. So yeah, the ZWatt and the 4i are the same physically. We'll see how their data goes. Must be near on lunchtime. Getting a bit hungry. Alright, I'll wrap it up in just a few moments. So if you've got any further questions or comments, fire away. They're all right there on the screen. I appreciate everyone sticking around, having a chat. When's Von getting her new bike? Soon. Soon, I hope. That way I've got more things to talk about and tinker around with. I'd love to surprise her with a new bike when she gets home from her current trip, but that's not going to happen. She's too headstrong with tech as well, so she'll need to choose. Why don't smart trainers have a cable connection option? Good question. It's just not the mark. They're marketed at single home user, and there's technically in isolation, there's nothing wrong with Ant Plus or Bluetooth. The technology works perfectly for its application. The issue is with everything else around it. So it's like asking the car manufacturers to put a fifth wheel on the car because people keep skidding out on oily roads or so. I don't know, that's a shit analogy. You know what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with the current tech, it's everything else around it. Having said that, these companies still need to address that. There's also issues around putting or changing the circuitry board on the trainers, interference, low battery. It's telling me something in the phone there. So interference in circuit boards and redesign of those, so another overhead cost there. What other excuses can I come up in support of the trainer manufacturers not having cables? That's about it. And it's also, I think it'll be seen as a bit of a step back in technology, because we've been told these days everything's wireless. God, my iPhone, you don't even plug that in to charge it nowadays. It's just put on a pad and it charges magically. So stepping back, who's going to blink first there from the major manufacturers? And then, how do you put a cable into an iPhone or an iPad? That's clunky. That's clunky. But we know the benefits of it. It'll be 0 dropouts, 0 latency, no problems. No word back from Giant yet. I've still got to package up all the data and send it over. It's all public anyway. That's how I roll. But yeah, but I haven't heard from Giant Australia. Not on their radar. And the content I've done around the new bike and stuff has done really well. It's about 180,000 views of the Giant bike and the new tech and the Di2. It's been misinterpreted as me having a bit of a dump on Di2 and all that, but I'm still running it. It's still good. Still running tubeless. Other questions just before I log out? No, don't question your Giant power meter just yet. I've only got 1 unit. If I had 5, and they were all the same, then there's a problem. We need more people to look at the power meter and the data. Maybe if they could swap mine out. We'll see. Best value direct drive trainer on the market right now. Secondhand Kicker Core, cheap Dorito. Kinetic has a trainer that uses USB. Yeah, not all that popular though at the moment. I'm still waiting for the R1. Can you check out the R1, which does a bit of this. There we go. Companion app icon. Anyone else lost the companion app icon on Android after the latest update? Good question, Rick. I'll check that out in a moment. I do have an Android around here. That's still on beta. So not much movement at the station there from Zwift on Android beta. A lot of people called for Android version for a long time. Now that it's out in beta, we don't hear much about it. We really don't. Oh, you hit right on. See if it pops up on screen. Sorry if I was a bit late on that one. But we'll get to 40Ks. That's some good data. Yeah, good idea. Blow it away, reload. Where am I? Okay, I'm coming out of the tunnel. Cool. It's been good. I'll upload this data and have a look. But I've finally got this bottom bracket sorted out for this crankset. It's buttery smooth. It's good. Previously, it had just a slight bit of movement in there. It's horrible. Cool, you saw it. Awesome. 300 meters, that should get us just before the start line there. Again, thanks for coming along. Much appreciated. Makes the time tick over nice and fast. Apologies for the technical hiccups. Thanks to our friends at YouTube. That was really strange. I keep an eye on the monitoring. It comes up, it's got all the stats and things down here. And it didn't miss a beat locally. Who the hell wants pliers off his head? There's a reason for it. Good stuff. And there we go, 40Ks. Do I get the XP? Or did I miss it? You've got to go a little bit further. Yeah, I must have got it. Rock and roll. Well, there we are. Thanks to everyone for coming along for that. Yeah, for now. Well, first of all, it's lunch and coffee. But I will, love the watch. The battery life on the Forerunner is bloody brilliant. Better than the Apple Watch. For now, I'm going to put all those 3 head units together using the exact same process as I documented a couple of weeks back with how I compare power meters. Focusing on left and right. And you saw at the end, I added that 400 watts up the hill or a little bit more. Really slopping the bike around, because that's what happens in a race. If I was sprinting for that line that you see up there, things are going to get messy. We want that data to be correct or reliable, not dropping out, not wonky left, right, etc. Alright, that's my workday done. pretty much. Time for coffee. Thanks for coming along again. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, have fun. We'll see you soon. Cheers.